Oh, hi. Eric's lurking. Frank, John, Brian. Hold on, I gotta send a picture of a bait to a gentleman. Okay, got that out of the way. Darius, I need to go back and read your comment. Didn't you say you've been catching lots of bass? And Ryan Thiel, what's up, dude? Uh, Lots of bass, and you lost your memory card. That would be unfortunate. That would be unfortunate. The Kentucky Lake King is right. You know what's funny, Darius, is whatever tournament that was that they just had, that the dude won catching smallmouth on the bed using live scope or 360 or whatever he's doing. Uh, Everybody, I think, was shocked at the smallmouth population, and they were like, "This place is full of smallmouth now." And I heard that, and I was like, "No shit, Darius has been catching them for like a couple years now." But I guess it wasn't common knowledge unless you followed Darius. Um, so I thought that was amusing that the whole rest of the world was very in the dark about the smallmouth population at Kentucky Lake. Should have asked Darius; he would have told you. Just look at his pictures; they're all smallmouth and occasional greenie. That's what GoPros are good for. Uh, where is it now? Yes, tomorrow night I'm about to create the uh, thumbnail and link to tomorrow night's Patreon tackle camp stream. We will have the one and only JP, John Pryor, legendary bait painter, fisherman, creator, inventor, all of the above. So we'll get to talk to him. He actually told me a story on the phone today that was pretty damn hilarious. I don't know if he'll tell it tomorrow, but uh, he should. Um, but we'll get to talk to JP, see what's going on. He's been running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to get work fires put out. But yeah, should be fun. I'm excited. I was starting to get nervous, but probably gonna be around 7:30, Darius. That's what I'm shooting for. 7:30. Maybe you'll win another. Maybe you'll win another Burnsy. Actually, you will be winning two because the winner gets both. Marty Burns, how goes it? I was just talking to John Pryor about you. He said, "Damn, Marty makes a good plug." I said, "He does that." And he said, "I got a few." He said, "I'm really excited about that topwater. You got any of them?" I said, "It's kind of like a Sammy." He said, "Yeah, but smaller, thinner." I was like, "Yeah, I got some of those." I was like, "I got a 3 hook version." He's like, "Ooh, I like that." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Um, so I have to. He said, "If I lose it, think you can get me one?" I said, "Burns will probably build you another one." He's like, "All right." I said, "Because I'm gonna fish that damn thing." I was like, "Yeah, might as well." Um, but yeah, I need to. I'm excited. I have to wear my nice clothes tomorrow night. Um, but we got a. What did he say? I think he said he'll be in a hotel room. So hopefully the feed's good. Made for fishing, not looking at. Correct. Correct. So I'm pumped. That'll be fun. Small jaws are an invasive species on Kentucky Lake. Go like carps to say the greenbacks. That's right. I sure do. I sure do miss old Kentucky Lake. I've been meaning to go back and look at Blockett's Kentucky Lake recap. See what he missed. I saw some video that he posted that it's something about missing. I missed this. It's like, no shit, dude. You miss everything. Now the GoPro app is down. Well, what's wrong with GoPro? Smallmouth forever. Darius, how long have you fished Kentucky Lake? How many years you got logged into that lake? We just need to have just need to feed Darius in. Ask you questions, Darius. I got questions for you. $30 years. Wow. So you've seen lots of ups and downs. How about that? Have you always fished for smallmouth? Or is that something new since the carp invasion? 30 years. That's a lot. Darius was fishing for smallies back when greenbacks ruled. What's up, AJ? Yeah, Darius was that kook that was out there fishing for smallmouth when everybody's catching damn 25 pounds of largemouth. Like, what is this guy doing? Now he gets the last laugh. That's just Darius. All he does is smallmouth fish. There's smallmouth in here? Yeah. He dicks around with them. They grow 3 peaks in the valley, same as the lake. How about that? Is this the best it's ever been, though? Sounds like in the last 30 years. I'm sure at one time you were a greenbacky kind of guy. And there was a conversion. I'm getting notifications. It used to be better? Wow. Had no clue. Because when I was fishing there, we caught one smallmouth and it was like that big. But I figured as many fish as we caught, we would have stumbled across a keeper smallmouth. But my dad caught that one, Carolina rigging, an old monster. Andy caught a sauger. Dude, that Carolina rig was catching everything. Wow, used to be better. How about that? Is it better? Let me ask you this: is it better on the Kentucky side than it is the Tennessee side? Does the smallmouth fishing get worse as you go down the lake? Starting to eat a frog. I thought it was snowing up there, bro. I thought it was. I thought it was snowing last week. They got some weird ass fish, AJ. Y'all got some weird ass fish. They go from like ice to frogging in like 3 weeks. Finally went fishing, more of a scouting trip. Found a honey hole. At one time, they were saying the next world record would come out of Kentucky Lake. Wow. Do you think that's possible? Or getting anywhere? What's have you heard like old wives' tales about like 8 9 pounders coming out of there? 7 pounders even. So the Kentucky side is better for smallmouth, and then as you get lower is largemouth territory. Okay, that makes sense because I must not have gone far enough north to get into uh, numerous 10 pounders. Hmm. The frogs have unthawed. Now the frog fishing game is on until it snows again. Empty beds, dude. That's the worst feeling when you're getting like pumped for like pre-spawn, and then you go out there and you start looking around. There's like empty beds, and you're like, did I miss it? Of course, I missed every level of the spawn, and there's one pocket that they spawn in down here like late, and it's always like a middle of April thing. And I took the boat out like last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna go hit that pocket. It's gonna be right. The water was like chocolate milk, dude, and it was like high. Rivers were flooded, and it was blown out. I was like, damn it, dude. The one day I get out of here and it's like trash. Probably the biggest bag I've ever caught down here on the lower end was on that in that in that pocket. Uh, what's up, South J? Uh, I gotta get back to Kentucky Lake and go down to Buchanan's Resort Lodge. I had such a blast at that damn place. I hope they're still open. Um, Current. Let's get you a jig and a spinnerbait, Bob. That's all you need. Leave your crankbaits at home. They'll just drive you nuts. Depends on how heavy the current is, though. I'd be blading and jigging though, if it were me. Yeah, I want to get back to K Lake. Probably one of my to this point. I don't know which I like more, there or Gunnersville, but I think I like the fishing on Kentucky Lake better. Um, Heavy veg. Ooh, ooh, that changes things. I said St. Clair is on fire right now. Can't wait to get there. That will be fun. I'm jealous. Darius, I'm jealous of everything you do, dude. You get to go catch smallmouth and whatever else you feel like catching on Kentucky Lake during the week. Slide up to St. Clair, catch smallmouth till you're blue in the face, and then come home and catch smallmouth till you're blue in the face. Now, Darius, will you into the next coming months? Will you will you deep crank for the smallies, or will you do other things? Oh, the baby's sick. She has an ear infection and hand, foot, and mouth again. The second time in 2 months. Didn't I tell you to zip it about your Lake St. Clair trip? So, fingers crossed I don't catch it again. Spinnerbait, crankbait, walker, or the river baits. Sounds pretty solid. I don't know. I would, as much as it hurts me to say, I would probably leave the crankbait at home, given your current situation. Tabernaugh's 56. Good for you, dude. That is the way to do it. I don't see myself retiring in 16 years. Parents, they are. Well, the problem that the Mousie has is that she likes taking these two fingers and sticking them in her mouth. Night fishing. I guess your buzz piece would come into play too, and some current. You have lights on your boat, Darius? My first Triton had it was set up for night fishing. The dude had it was up in Huntsville, and he fished Pickwick Lake, and he primarily night fished, and he fished these brush piles out in the river for smallmouth. And when I got in the boat, it had a Lowrance 520C in the dash, and I turned it on, and I looked at Pickwick, and there was probably 150 brush piles marked on the river, or like hard spots, ledges, brush piles. But all the brush piles were like marked where you could tell they were brush. And the dam, before I could get the spots off, because I had to like download the software and like all this shit to get the waypoints off. It crashed, and I lost all those, which made me sick. Not that I would at that point I would have probably would have somehow ended up at Pickwick to be able to use those waypoints, but I never did. Darius, come on, dude. You wouldn't love to take me on a night bite? I would go crazy. I'm going to get my scuba license and swim over from our side of Lake St. Clair to where Darius is fishing and cut off all his baits just to make sure he doesn't catch any Canadian bass. Oh, Frank, you're from up that way? Are y'all going to link up? That'd be fun. Darius doesn't want to take me smallmouth fishing because I'd be on the back of the boat going, yeah, Darius, that pocket over there looks really good. You think there's some largies in there? Think we can slide in there and throw a frog? Think we can slide in there and throw a buzzbait? Hey, can you take me over there for a second? Let me swim a jig. He'd be like, nah, we smallmouth fishing. Hey, Darius, you got any of these smallmouth schools that are full of largemouth instead of smallmouth? I'll paddle a canoe over the border for a chance to fish smallies before the 4th Saturday in June. I guess that's when the season opens? That sounds painful to have that lake that close and have to wait that long. I couldn't handle that. Darius, what's the deepest you fish? At any point in the year, what's the deepest that you will fish? I say 16 feet. 15. Try living in Minnesota. Try living in Alabama where you can fish 12 months out of the year and you still don't get to go. Closed for longer than it's open in some zones in Ontario, open year-round in others. That certainly blows. For smallies, Darius, what's the deepest you'll fish for smallies at any point throughout the whole year? I'm guessing you drag a football head pretty deep. Frank, you need one of those layout boats that you duck hunt out of, where you just lay back in it, and then you just paddle out there, and then you just like hold your rod, like you just fish laying down, and you just like jig off the side of the boat, and you put like you wear like an aluminum foil suit, and you wrap your layout boat in aluminum foil, and then it like kind of shines like water. Or maybe you could paint yourself bluish, the color of the water, and then wrap yourself and your boat in saran wrap and make yourself look like water. Or you could make you get one of those little paddle boats and then construct like a duck decoy out of it and make a giant duck decoy, or like a swan or some kind of giant bird, and then just float around and people would just think it's a big bird out there. 25 feet, that's deep. That's deep. There was a DD caught in Nebraska. Wow. Ben Milliken? 25. You get largies in 25. Will you have to fizz those fish? At what depths do most lake fish die when you bring up to the surface? I don't know. I would die. It would have to be like 40, 50 feet, I would think. What I don't understand is the Big Bass podcast. We're talking about Cali northern bass and how big they're getting. If those fish can get that big up north, why can't they get that big here? Probably water quality. Do y'all have kokanee? I think that's a big deal up there. 10-foot tall Trojan Canada goose. There you go. A-rig in 25. Bob is no longer going to be bank trash. He is going to be boat rich. That's good. I do always get jealous. Like if I have to go like test baits and I'm testing them like on the bank by a boat ramp and I see like guys launching them, like, you assholes. 40 to 50 feet, depending on species, head to Birds of Butter. They will be sea goldener. Yep. You gotta fizz their ass in the Great Lakes. I've never been to the Great Lakes, but like I know down here. Um, what's up, Sean? How are you and your beautiful thick head of hair doing? Bob, do you have a full deck on it, or do you still have? Do you have to still sit on the stock bench that came in the boat? Is it rigged? Biggest northern strain is six. I mean, that is a ginormous northern strain. Ginormous. I think they've just got something in their water out there, dude, that breeds them. Got to get the bench going, man. I mean, you got to get the deck so you can be very accurate with your casts. Genetics plays a huge role. Forage, uh, all the shit that goes on with the water, what's under the water, soil, all that kind of shit. I mean, look at the Mobile Delta. We have just as long a growing season as anywhere, which should uh, which should produce large volumes of large fish, but it doesn't happen. Look at uh, look at the Potomac River. The Potomac crushes the Mobile Delta as far as weights go. We probably have a little saltier uh, water content, um, but I mean, there's so many like millions of acres and hundreds of miles of water here. It's not all salty, but so you can get away from the salt. Um, but on paper, this place, as far as like food, habitat, all that kind of stuff, I think it's one thing here that makes a big difference is industrial runoff and waste. Um, that I think that has really ruined a lot of the river system here. Um, uh, up the rivers, they've got all these like steel mills and all these industrial chemical plants and shit like that. And they all say they're not putting shit in the water, but they're putting shit in the water. Um, and guys will tell you that there's a bay down here, and it's called polecat, and it's on the very end, like the very lower part of the delta that I talk about, called the Causeway. But supposedly back in like the 50s, before they started building all these plants and shit, um, that Polecat Bay was the deepest, clearest, healthiest bay in all of the Delta. Like it was deep, it was clear, had grass in it. They said you'd see like tarpon swimming around, like everything in there was like thriving. Beautiful water. Water quality was like pristine. Um, Now it's about this deep, and what water is fishable is like always chocolate milk, and it sucks. It's the nastiest water of anywhere down there, and it's on the Mobile Riverside, and and that's like it's directly downstream from where most of those like plants are, and I think they, like guys will tell you, after they put all that shit in and they started dumping shit in the river and stuff, and they built some shit down there, and they just like completely ruined that bay. And so um, I think our issue is that our fish have shitty genetics, and I want to say they have tried to stock. They've tried to stock Florida strain largemouth here, and they didn't take hold. Like they just fizzled out and died. Um, I want to say Auburn did a study and said that the fish we have in the lower part of the delta are like their own like subspecies of largemouth that are like completely unique to the Mobile Delta that just live hard, die young, and don't get big. Um, so when you do catch one, it's pretty like if you do catch a big one, it's pretty cool because they're like they're actually pretty special fish. Um, I think if New Jersey actually focused on bass more, they could have some insane fisheries because we barely get ice overs, which would definitely help grow larger bass. Yeah, I'm convinced that zebra mussels are good for bass fishing. Seem to be. Um, they seem to be. I don't want them down here, but I feel like they would probably help our water quality. Um, Most anglers here in Chicago also target perch or the salmonoid or trout. Maybe the salinity is a little too high. Yeah, it probably is down here where I'm at. Well, like I said, there's hundreds of miles of river before you get to the before you get to a dam. And typically the fish do get bigger the farther north you go. So the farther away from the salt you go, the fish do typically get a little bigger. Um, but Toyota last weekend was one with smallmouth in Kentucky, almost 60 pounds. Second place was a guy from Minnesota, local guy from Paris went. Uh, Darius, you didn't want to hop in that one? Chris, can you comment on zebra mussels doing anything in Texas lakes? Because I know that Lake Travis has them, Lake Austin has them, Town Lake has them, and I think I don't know anywhere south of that does, like the Lower Colorado. I don't know. I haven't seen any on the Lower Colorado or heard anything about them down there. But I have a friend that made the comment to me many years ago uh, that said, "Smallmouth are the fish of the future." Maybe he's right. I'm just giving him credit here in video video form. That Dennis, maybe you were right. Maybe it will come to fruition that we do find out that smallies are the fish of the future. Uh, I've always wondered how do bass eat mussels and clams. Same with the striper. Do they just eat the whole shell and crush it? I don't know. I don't know. That's like the it's like the sheep's head down here. Like those things will eat damn barnacles, but they've got teeth. Uh, they released 300,000 Florida bass at Kentucky Lake the last 2 years. Do you think that helped, Darius? Or do you think it didn't help? Double-digit smallies. Couldn't imagine. Smallies are pretty resilient, or at least the ones up here are. Yeah, it seems like they're stretching, like they're just like they're evolving to lots of different areas. T, I think it's a matter of time zebra mussels will be in all the Texas big lakes like Fork supposedly has them. Like Town Lake, they're everywhere. Travis, they're everywhere. Like when they drop the water, uh, you could see them all over the place. It's kind of gross, but I haven't heard of any like really big lakes. Travis is huge, but I don't know that like what it's done for Travis, because I feel like when the zebra mussels got introduced to Travis, it was in the middle of a upswing because it had been in a drought for so long. So then you bring it up and it's fishing good, and I don't think we've seen yet what the zebra mussels have done to Travis. Um, a lot of bass guys from Zebra Lakes fish Texas. Very interesting. It'll be interesting. Haven't fished a tournament in 20 years. Not about to start now. I can't say that I blame you. What about co-angling? Would it? Would you? Would you be? Would that interest you to hop on the back of a semi-pro's boat and see how they break down your lake? I think that's interesting. I know that some baitfish populations were destroyed by zebra mussels because it made them so easy to hunt and find by predators. Sounds like it was their time to go anyway. I watched MLF on Travis, and it was a drop shot derby. That sounds about right. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the time of year. I don't know what time of year they went, but I feel like Travis is one of those places you can do whatever you want. But I guess if you're trying to get numbers, probably drop shot is the way to go, or something like that. It's deep and clear. Get on a bunch of fish, catch as most as humanly possible. Um, uh, TK needs a triple St. Clair Ned only. This is the only Ned rig I have. It's on my shirt. Oh, I gotta message a guy. I had a dude order a T-shirt, and he ordered a 3XL, and it's the only size I don't have. And I think my dad took it and gave it to one of his friends. I don't know who took it. Somebody. Uh, so I got to message that guy back and be like, "Sorry, man. Are you a 2XL or a 4XL, or I can refund your money?" Remind me. Maybe I'll call him. I heard a rumor that zebra mussels are good for bass, but that sounded kind of far fetched. You mean for them to eat? Or, I don't know. The biggest problem with zebra mussels is that they consume plankton. That's the start of the food chain, and all the small animals, including game fish fry, feed on the plankton. Yeah, they filter it all out, and then I'm guessing they don't leave a lot for the rest of the chain. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Texas, what they do to those Texas lakes, because eventually they're just going to be everywhere. Uh, I don't know yet. There was only like 3 inches big that will interbreed with the northern ones eventually. You need a 4XL, Burns? Got those too. I've even got one 5XL. If you need a 4X, you can certainly have that. Um, but I don't know. My website had inventory of one 3XL, and I have looked all over this place, and I cannot find the 3XL. Um, I don't know how big the zebra mussel population has to be to upset the food web in a fishery. I don't know. I don't know. They filtered out completely. The benefits from them were not expected. They thought the entire ecosystem would be wrecked. It's very interesting. Daughter stole the Ned shirt. You should have another one. I should have sent. I should have sent a. I thought I sent another one, Burns. Oh, she got the scope. She got the scope shirt. Scope or die. Um, Brian, I need to send you some other ones because I got a bunch of mediums. Um, we have zebras on zebras. So what, Sean? Would you say they're besides snagging your hooks? What are the and filling up pipes and getting on boats and shit like barnacles? What is the biggest con of zebra mussels besides them spreading to other lakes that they're non-native to? A lot of tournament guys will message you and ask you what they're biting on. What do you tell them, Darius? Crunkbait? So far, doomsayers have been wrong about zebra mussels. Same with gobies, and I hope they continue to be less of a problem. Yeah, I remember when I was in Texas in Austin, they put out a thing in the paper or like online or whatever, and the news, and they were like, it was like a warning to people using the lake to like wash their canoes, and that I know for a fact that's probably how they spread because Town Lake uh, didn't have many boats in it. It was really heavy kayak, really heavy canoe, all that kind of shit, and you could only run a trolling motor. Um, but the kayak and canoe population was very large, paddleboarding, all that kind of shit. Um, I'm pretty sure that's how they spread, but or they just came down the river naturally, which is probably the easiest way to do it. But I'm guessing they will probably spread throughout the Austin area through kayaks and canoes. Uh, but they put out a thing in the paper or the news put out this thing and it was like a warning, and it was like we have reason to believe that there is a small infestation of zebra mussels now in Lake Austin. And when they put this out, like zebra mussels had been in there, like they were everywhere. And then they put out this thing that's like, we think there might be zebra mussels in there. It's like, dude, y'all are like a year and a half behind. And it's not a small population of them, like they're everywhere. It was so stupid that like they thought that they were going to put out this like statement to warn everybody to like clean their kayaks like 2 years later after like they were already everywhere. That's the problem, is that like they were already everywhere. People have already been spreading them everywhere for over a year. And then you're going to make a statement and be like, oh, we've got a few zebra mussels in the lake. No, we got a lot of them, and they've been there. But the people that use the lake knew that. Um, they have found out that gobies are eating the zebra mussels. Wow. Here in Nebraska, if a lake gets zebra mussels, they drain it. Wow, that's extreme. Southern lakes have a ton of plankton anyway. Yeah, so Darius, we probably got plankton to spare, unless those little bastards eat it all. Um, I think there is a higher potential of water toxicity because those plankton release oxygen in the water. AJ, I like the reuse of the Omnia box. Very sustainable. I have a portable wash station that was originally for my mountain bike. I use it to wash out my kayak. That's very responsible of you, Frank. Um, uh, turnovers. I've never seen a turnover on any of our rivers. I was always under the influence that rivers didn't typically turn over because there was always like current churning the water over, and there was like never much of an opportunity for like a thermocline to form. Um, but I used to have people tell me, "Oh, it's turning over," like the river. I'm like, I don't think the river's turning over. Uh, Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I've seen. My uncle says zebra mussels filter the water and allow the vegetation to grow deeper. I can see that. Or grow it all. Um, let's see. What does this text message say? Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Damn. Crawfish bowl. 2 sacks. 3 sacks. 4 sacks, maybe. But this spot also has a big decaying grass. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Marty. I don't know that it's. I'm sure it's. I don't. Maybe possible in certain. I don't think it. I'm no biologist, but uh, common sense tells me that if you have a if you have a current flowing down the river, it doesn't leave much opportunity for water to get stale and create layers. Uh, Marty, no, I think I'm gonna go tomorrow. I think I might actually take the boat out tomorrow and go. Um, I think I'm gonna take the boat out tomorrow. I need to put hooks on them. Speaking of, Marty, do I need to? Is there differences in the prop torpedoes, or can I just test one? Or do I need to test them all? Or are they different weights in different locations? Test the little froggy. I've been working on my toolbox today. All the paint was coming off my toolbox from when I painted it last time, which was about 8 years ago. Uh, Schoolmaster, are you a zebra aficionado? Do you have a PhD in zebra mussels? It's not over. It just kind of fizzled out. All the same. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now give me something to work with. I don't have to get confused. I'm really excited about this damn Dreamwalker. I kind of want to paint it first because I know it's going to be the titties, rather than have to put these hooks on and then take them off and then put them back on. Rather just paint it and let it rip. I have a GHD. I think the zebras are in North Alabama too, like in some of those lakes, like Gunnersville. I think they're up in Gunnersville. I don't know what they did that place. We don't have anybody in the chat from North Alabama, do we? North Alabama people just maybe they're just not chatters. Thank you, Burns. Thank you, Burns. Zebras are in every single lake up here in all the Great Lakes. They clean up the water real nice. All right, let's find some crappy hooks to put on these baits. Where would those be? If I were a bag full of crappy hooks, where would I live? Right here. The problem we have, like coming up, is like as the water warms, we get this weird. Oh, these have split rings on them. Damn it. Maybe I'll take these split rings off. Undo all the work I just did. We have this weird slime algae that grows once the water gets up on the grass. And you'll just have like this beautiful grass covered bay. And then like all of a sudden it'll go from beautiful grass flat bay to beautiful neon green slime bay. And usually when you see that, it's cooked. You might as well go do something else. And it's really a shame because you want to go fish the grass, but you can't because there's 100 acres of green slime everywhere. Then you got to go fish the damn riverbank. If you want the largemouth to come back better at Kentucky Lake TK, we need the grass back. Yes, correct. How do I make that happen, Darius? Just trying to get them. AJ, you catch fish in the neon slime? Does anybody else catch fish in the neon slime? Seems like anytime I get around it, it's like the damn Dead Sea, dude. I can't get bit in the slime. Tim, tomorrow I got to create the link tonight. They get in your slime too? Maybe it's just psychological. But I've got it in my head. Yes, Bob, Patreon tomorrow night, John Pryor. Maybe it's just a mental block with me. Maybe I shouldn't look at the green slime so negatively anymore. It seems like anytime I got it, like, do y'all get like big orbs of it, or it's just like big giant like balls of green slime just floating around? Like we get a lot of it. Need a biologist on here to be like, don't waste your time, or that's where the hogs live. Are these gonna hook? Yeah. Oh well, that'll give me a good idea. Be like Matt said, like a big flat, big section using responsible as current. I would like to know the ins and outs of slime. My favorite way to fish a frog is inside weed lines and tiny trash mats, covered in nuclear snot. Snot that looks like you dipped it in chartreuse green JJ's Magic. Big Mom, what's up? I'm just talking about snot. Talking about slime. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do your fish live in it? Do they not live in it? Jersey fish live in it. Nebraska fish live in it. South Alabama fish, I don't think they love it. Patreon tomorrow night, John Pryor. I talked to him today. He confirmed. I was starting to get nervous. Slime sucks. Agreed. Agreed. Besides frogging, can you does anybody ever flip slime? What size sinker do you need to penetrate a booger? A snot mat. Cold water? Don't have much of that. Not worth the punching. I guess you're pulling off all the little green strands. That's annoying. I tend to wacky chatter slime when I see it. We did. We had burns. We had burns on the injured reserve. All right. Oh, I need number 4s, or I need number 6s for this Dreamwalker. Let me find some number 6s. Gammies. Y'all remind me that these hooks I'm putting on this are nice. They're not shitty. I tend to forget when I have like test baits if the hooks I'm using are good or if they're not good. I have this thing here that I typically use that's got all my random hooks that I don't know exactly what they are, but looking at the finish, like there's a bronze Gamakatsu, and I think most of these are good hooks, but like premium hooks as they call them, and this bait will have primo hooks on them, so we shall see. You think Ken and Terry would come on? Probably. I don't know. They seem like they just like talking fishing, so Maybe. Maybe. I feel like I asked him everything I needed to on HelloStream. Do you know anything about Bass Wars? The greatest bass fishing book ever written. All right. They don't snag. They don't snag. Perfect. Hella, probably not, because I don't know that Pryor will want to stay up for 3 hours and talk. He said, "How long you need me? An hour?" I said, "An hour would be great." I said, 30 minutes. I said, "If you got 30 minutes, whatever." He's like, "An hour's fine." I was like, "Okay." Um, Hellcat 2 would be cool. Seen a lot of pre-reports break from trying to slap the slime off. They are little but mighty. Yeah, we're definitely going to get Burns back on. A painting demo? Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to do I want to do the splatter demo. Not that it would matter to anybody, but feather. Um, a rattle, a knocker. Frank would be cool. I'd like to talk to Frank, especially about painting. But yeah, I'd do a little paint demo. That'd be fun. I don't know. What do you want to? What do you? I guess it would depend on what I was painting. What would you want me to paint? Nah, he's looking for the knocker, Burnsy. He wants the knocky. Um, Frank would be fun. What would yeah? What I mean, if y'all wanted me to see me do a paint demo, what would you want to see? Uh, there's Pryor. He's on. He's listening. There you go. However long, John, don't say that. You'll be putting the coffee pot on by the time everybody goes to sleep. You can't outlast these dudes. It'll be open smallmouth season on Lake Ontario by the time we get done. Paint whatever you're in the mood for. That would be hard because I don't know that the juices would be flowing too much. Trying to talk and paint to just freestyle something. I'd probably need something. Yeah, there's that 3-hook one, John. Co-host with Hella could mediate. Only got a good painter this time. Yeah, that one will snag one. We got all kinds of weird shit here, John. Froggy with a little spinner on his butt. Odd Poppers, Froggy Chipmunks, SP1s. We're going to give these away tomorrow. This one will be given away, and it's matching Deep Diving Brother, Medium Diving Brother. To a lucky viewer. So how the hell will we hear you talk while painting? I just paint without a fan. Just breathe lacquer fumes. I wish I had a variable control on my fan. Then I could just turn it way down to where it would suck slow, and then that would probably be fine. But you can do it. I got a mask, but I couldn't talk with a mask on. I don't know. I could probably, if you could do it to where I didn't have to like base coat, to where I was just like adding color, it would probably keep the fumes down pretty good bit. Painting for dummies, that would be, that would certainly be easy enough to do. Pryor can probably comment that it's all in the prep. It's all in the prep, making your shit stick, or at least trying to. At least trying to. Going above and beyond to try and make your shit stick. The Waddle Mouse. That one. All right, well, I'm gonna get off of here. Hour 8. I gotta go. Finish trying to clean up this toolbox and repaint it. Campers and dummies, same. Watching TK pass it on to Patreon would be interesting. From paint fumes or from exhaustion? I'm really eager to try this thing. Both. Well, we'll try it and see what happens. All right, dudes. How many CFMs is your fan pushing out? I don't know. It's to the room. It's like 1,500, something like that. 2,000. I forget what it is. I did all the math. A makeup air unit? No, it just pulls air out of the. I've got a filter on the wall. And it's a room, and then it's got a square cut out in the wall, and it's got a filter on that, and that's where the air pulls through to go to the exhaust. And then I've got a air-fed respirator from the outside the room that feeds air from outside into my mask. So, South Jersey, I'm not looking to do anything, bro. I don't. That shit works as long as I flip the damn switch and the fan turns on and suck shit out of the room. I'm not looking for shit, dude. I just need it to work. That's pretty much everything I own. I'm not too picky. I'm not greedy. I just need, when I flip the switch, it turns on. And same with my truck. I just need that son of a bitch to crank and drive. Need my airbrush when I hit the button for air to come out. Uh, do my door stick? No, it's not pulling that hard. Which is, I think, much like the Corrados, pretty much. Uh, yeah, that's everything. I need my line to not break. I need my reels to cast and engage. Uh, very simple. Very simple in that respect. My boat, I just need it to crank and the trolling motor to work and float. Not too picky. Not too picky. So, does anyone else cringe when you hear Milliken's Tatula SV squeal for some oil? Would you throw a frog on mono for skipping docks? No, I would not. My fishing partner Jody probably would, though. No, I think speaking of Burns, found a pile of BB3s on eBay, all in one lot. No, Burns. Back in Austin when I lived in Austin, I had a pulmonary embolism. If you don't know what that that is a blood clot in your lung. So apparently, I dodged a bullet and didn't die. But the more I think about it, the more I think that my it might have been caused from my paint room having too much air being pulled with my door closed, and it was creating like a, a a vacuum on my body. Um, I don't know. It is, but nobody knows. Like when I went to the doctor, they did all this like testing on me, and they're like, "We don't know why this happened." Uh, but I'm thinking that might have been it. Like me sitting in a paint room with too many CFMs pulling in a small room. Um, I think that might be what it caused it. So they said it was in my left leg, but the the interesting thing was I never felt any pain in my leg. Like I didn't know it was there. And I don't recall like my leg swelling up or anything. It was really weird. Um, but that son of a bitch hurt. Like once it broke loose, um, it wasn't airtight, South Jersey, but I feel like it was like the only place it would have been pulling from was under the door. So I mean, it was probably a very shitty design that would cause you bodily harm. But dude, when that thing broke free and hit me in the damn lung, that shit hurt. Uh, Winning weight, I haven't even thought about it, dude. I haven't even thought about it. Uh, I would think 25 pounds a day would be doable. Uh, Negative pressures are for real. Yeah, I was young and dumb though, and didn't and thought I was bulletproof. Thinking back on it, I probably wasn't. Um, so, because that's the only thing that would make sense. If I don't have any like underlying health issues, or I'm not like predisposed, like I'm typically a pretty healthy person. I'm not I didn't have any reason to have a damn blood clot. Um, so I'm thinking maybe that's what it was. You go in there and you sit in negative pressure for 9 hours and paint. Um, if someone installs a 400 CFM exhaust fan in their house, code makes them put in a makeup air unit. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I tried to when I built this room. I tried to do it the appropriate way to where you're not creating a negative pressure. You're just passing air through. Um, so it seems to be working right. Um, so, oh, dude, burns. I was laying in bed and that shit like hit me like right there, and it was real low, and it just like felt like somebody shoved a knife in my back, and I was like, ow, and like I couldn't get away from it. You know what I mean? Like I kept trying to like stretch it out, and I was like, I can't get away from this. Like this is real painful. And finally, like the only thing I could do was get on my knees and lay on the side of the bed, and like it didn't hurt as bad. And um, I finally told Amy, I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but this shit hurts. So luckily, the hospital was across the street, so we drove down. And dude, they scanned me, and then like I went in, they took me back, and in like 5 minutes, they were like, "You had a blood clot." I was like, "Do what?" And they're like, "Yes, in your lungs, PE, pulmonary embolism." That's interesting. I said, "Yeah, you're lucky." I'm like, "Lucky for what?" I said, "Lucky you're not dead." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know what else I found out in that hospital visit? That I was going to be a dad. How weird is that? Talk about freaking out when you're laying there in your damn hospital bed, looking at your feet, and you're like, damn blood clot in my back. And your wife walks in and says, "Guess what?" Yeah, that was a very uh, life altering week. I think I spent I was in there for like 3 days. Did a bunch of tests and shit. Um, what it was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. So, uh, yeah, hopefully that's behind me. But the doctor that walked in, he was he's like, so blood clot in your lung. I was like, okay. And he was like, a very small part of your lung died. I was like, okay. And he's like, you won't ever notice it and you're fine. It's not going to affect your like health or anything. He's like, but what happens is it goes and it, stops blood flow and just that where it was dies. I was like, awesome. Thanks for the heads up. All them blood heavies and heaters caught up to you. Yep. Got my ass. So hopefully all that is a thing of the past, which is why I need to get out of the damn paint booth and get Tacklecraft ramped up to version 2 to where I don't have to paint and I let a manufacturer do that for me because I don't want to live the rest of my life in a paint booth. Although it's fun, it would be much more fun if I could do it at my discretion. So I drink Bush Light. Thin your blood out. Let's see here. is this? I got new patches coming in. May 1st, they'll be here. They will be these. And I want to put them on some hats. I want to get some little teeny ones made, some little bitty ones. Could have went to your brain. Yeah, brain, heart, anywhere. Who knows? I guess I'm lucky it hit me in the lung. Offset the patch. Like that. It's not too big for that. That just looks weird to me. I'll get some smaller ones and do it. I want some like little ones, like $50 size. New stickers. All right, Burns. I'll order some new stickers. I'll get some. Scoper die stickers, and I'll get some United We Glide stickers. And I got a new design I want to get done. But slightly tilted. Like that. We'll see. All right, y'all go cut your grass and shit. The TK Lounge. That's pretty much what it is. Pretty much what it is. But anyway, let me go. Y'all go cut your grass. I'm gonna go dick with this toolbox. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Patreon, 7:30. JP. Sean, if you're not there, I'm gonna be pissed. Y'all be good. See you. 7:30 Central, 7:30 regular time. None of that Eastern shit. Ooh, new Barnsey logo. Yeah, Sean, it's on sale this week though. Stream Wars. All right. Y'all be good. See you.